I want to get low. Low. Yeah, that's it. Like that. Like that. Like in my dream last night. Like that. Close to the edge. In fear of it. And wanting to jump in at the same time. That's my dream. This place. That's where I want to be, and I don't know if I really do want to be. I'm scared shitless of this. But is that where I'm from? Is that where I come from? Is that where I'm going? Is this who I am? Then it's quiet. And I'm alone. On the edge. Just me in existence. Me and nothingness. Nothingness. And me. Me is nothing. Shattered. Everything. And nothing. Everything and nothing. But what about I gotta go to work tomorrow. Kids gotta go to school. Existence? I got no time for existence. I have no time for existence? Well, everything and nothing nonsense? What is this? I just want to know what's happening with the eclipse and the transits this week. I don't want to question anything. I don't want to question my existence, why I'm here, where I come from, because when I do, it freaks me out. The ongoing hum. No, I can't do that. I got things to do. I have things to do. We have things to do. I don't just not even go there. Let's not even go there. I just could someone turn the hum off, please? Oh my God! Now I have I don't know about being on the edge of chaos or existence or either or. I don't know about that. I don't want to go there. I don't ever want to do that again. Why does this keep showing up in my dreams? I'm like this, and then I wake up and I'm like, what's this all for? What is this all for? What does this all mean? My heart rate is going up whenever I go there. Oh, there was that moment in the dream where I was on the edge and the pressure was relieved because I didn't know anything else. I don't want to know. I'm everything and nothing. I'm everything and I'm nothing. I'm everything and I'm nothing. Yeah. What about you? Your existence. Who are you? Where did your name come from? Your current identity? Have you ever thought about why you are who you are and the name that you have and the life that you lead? Why? Why are you doing you? Is there something beyond all this? Is there a reason you're here? Every single thing you've experienced and experiencing right now. Why? I'm looking at you. And I'm seeing you. And right now, I feel connected to you. That was a statement and not a question. And when I do question, and when you do question, the scenarios, the storylines, the philosophies, your truth, my truth, that can go in infinite directions. It brings wonder, but pressure too. But right now, you and I, we're connected. I know that to be true. Existing. No questions. Just another Tuesday at 5:51 p.m. Pacific time. Another live stream. How are you out there? Happy full moon to you, Pisces full moon. I haven't even looked at the chat. I don't know. Are you all even there? Have I been talking to myself the whole time? Am I talking to myself this whole time in the intro? I might as well be. I mean, that's how I imagine that. Do you know that I, at one end of the existence situation, I am talking to myself. I'm sitting here at the table looking into a camera. There's no one else around here. I'm just talking into this lens. There's nobody there. And at the same time, I forget how many people have access to YouTube. 2.5 billion. I'm talking to 2.5 billion people right now. This is my existence. Hope I didn't scare any of the newbies off. Whew, man. Whew. Gotta take a deep breath. Whew. Hey, chat. Hi, chat room. Wow, there's activity happening here. What kind of activity is happening in the chat? Let me do the view thing. It says I can zoom in. Is this gonna let me zoom in at least on this window? Okay. Hi, Johnny Newton. Needs some sparkles of gold today. So do I. And GME, welcome. Hello, Jagger. In chat, here we are in the Temple of Nicholas. Maybe you should run. GRP Jelly, hello, along with the Sunbeam Network. Leanne Patterson, Steffi G. See the both of you. Anne-Marie Rigg, ready to sparkle. Along with Scorpion Muse. I am everything and nothing at all. That's exactly who you are. That's exactly who I am. We have something in common. Dora Destroy and Mystery Cat knows what's up. Mandy Bailey with a super chat. Thank you. Cheers to our souls having a human experience. These are my people. Hi. These kinds of statements. We're right here. There's no questioning. Thank you for the super chat, Mandy. Who else we got in the house? Anne-Marie Rigg with a super chat. First one there. Little I'm liking. Thank you. Thank you with golden wings. Esmeralda is in the house. And BB, good to see you again. Not too long ago. Hope your universes are sparkling. Isha, Earth School, all the big questions. I know you have all the big questions, Isha. Kristen, hey, what's up? Flying solo. And hey, McClellan, good to see you here. Happy full moon to you. Yuki, what's up? Hey, I got some surprises in here. Good to see you. Nadia is in the house along with Wake Me From This. M. Blessings to you all. Thank you, Scorpio Muse. What's up? I got a couple super chats already. You guys are already going to hit the super chat goal. I'm on my 3 away already, and then I got a little surprise I'll do for that. What's going on? This is the chart right now. Now I'm at 55, it says. 555. That's what it says. I can read. 555. Wow. For some reason, my cursor is lit up on Venus over there. I don't admit to do that in my Astral Gold software. I don't know what the hell's going on. Let me do something here because I'm noticing something when I'm looking over. I need to go like that. How about that? So I'm looking at the camera like this, and then there we go. And so, okay, cool. Good to see you all. I don't know how many people we got today so far. Okay, we got a bunch of you. Good to see you all. Let's jump in. Listen, here's the transits. I just came back from a trip. I was in the desert. I went to do a podcast with friends and family. Y'all are family that I was there. It was good to see you, some of you in person. Good to talk on a podcast. Damn, it was blazing hot. And then this little rainstorm happened on Sunday and cooled everything off. It was like never experienced that desert transition of what happens with cooling off. It was amazing. And I started noticing things coming out of the ground that were crawling after the rain. And I was like, oh, this is other universe, another existence sitting under there, just constantly going. I don't even know what's there, but it's there. So, existence. So existences. So I was there. I just got back. I am fried. My brain is gone. So hell, why don't we do a live stream? So let's do this. Let's talk about right now. We are building towards something that is official here. It's 7:34 p.m. is a full moon in Pisces. We are an hour and a half away-ish, or we're 2.5 hours away. So, again, hey, there's the moon. Look at that. Hey, you notice something? I have 3 arrows. One looks like it's on Saturn. The other one is on the moon. And the other one's on Neptune. Clue number 555. And then here's the sun in Virgo. We see the moon is a degree away. We're applying towards a full moon right now. And whenever we're like less than so many degrees away from the node is when we have an eclipse. That's how it works. It's happening here at 25 degrees. Now, saying that, if you knew my existence when I'm doing these streams, there's 3 screens in front of me with multiple windows open, and then I lose myself. So saying that, yeah. All right, let's do it. Hey, Canada Dry, what's up? Good to see you, Canada Dry. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so I'm orientating myself because you could see I'm doing something here to see what my world is. Okay, so let's do this. Here we are, and I will actually pull up now. I'm doing this with Aquarius Ascendant on my end. That was purposely done. We are going to actually take a look at the chart. It is it's so funny how they have it here. Do I have this correct? Yeah, we'll do it this way because we'll go here and I'll reverse this. It's listed in September 18th for a lot of people because in other parts of the world, that's what it's happening. Just so say that's 17th and 18th. And here we are here. And here you see the moon at 25 degrees and the sun. We have full moon. All right. You got it? Got it. All right. Full moon at 25 degrees. Let's keep it simple. What planet rules Pisces? Neptune, you said? Nope. Sorry. In some other existences, possibly. On this particular one, it's Jupiter. And we will go to Jupiter. And we know Jupiter's been in Gemini here since the end of May. Let me just say right now that I have a 20-degree Gemini sun. Jupiter's been on my sun for the last week. Shit, I forgot to play the lottery. I still have a chance. I'm going to do that tomorrow. So saying that, we have 20-degree Jupiter in Gemini that rules this moon in Pisces, and we follow things. Jupiter in Gemini is ruled by what? What is Gemini ruled by? Well, just the best planet of them all, right? Mercury over here in Virgo, which right now, Mercury is at home. One of 2 homes that Mercury has, Gemini one of them, Virgo being the other. Now, we're looking at the heart of this, and it's a mercurial situation, according to my opinion, my existence. So I'm like, is this a Mercury thing again? But hey, I look, and we see something here with Saturn at 15 degrees, and it's building here, a waxing opposition that's happening with Saturn. That's Mercury. What rules Saturn? Jupiter. Here we are. We're really back to Mercury and Saturn. And this is at the heart of the full moon. Normally, and part of this is an emotional Piscean mutable story that's happening here that in a sense is already earlier passed through Saturn and touched Saturn, and it's on its way to actually touching Neptune. It's in between the two. So this moon, full moon, has an element, a tattoo of Saturn on it, which we know is opposing Mercury here. So just want to say that and get a little bit of the map here of it. We also know, we will point out something very important, is to keep track of Mars in Cancer. Here at 6-7 degrees, and we know the nodes. I always do this. People who watch my streams know what I'm about to do here to make this a blank chart. And we know that the nodes are at 6 degrees right here. And we have this square going on. Something happened today. I'll get into that politically in the world that has to do with a long story since last October 7th. And when Mars was in Libra, conjunct the South Node, and the Moon was in Cancer, we had conflict get set off. Today, there was a major thing that happened in the continuing unfortunate, I hate this dumbass story that's happening in the Middle East, and it sucks. And anyway, Mars is squaring the nodes, triggering this story for last year. That's a side note. We'll get back to this. Here, we want to pay attention to Mercury and how Mercury has been constructing thoughts for the last 2 months, to be honest, coming out of a retrograde, ruling the Jupiter in Gemini. It ruled the Mars in Gemini. It went into Leo. When retrograde, we went through all that. We're just coming out of it, it seems like. Mercury speeding along. We had a Mercury-Mars sextile last week. Now we start getting into the real work. The real work that Venus and Virgo did ahead weeks ago when Venus was opposite Saturn, trine Uranus, opposite Neptune. Okay, so now Mercury's carrying the messages, and some interesting ones. If I were you, I would be taking notes. If you haven't been taking notes for the last so many weeks from a Mercury situation because they're in play here, Saturn on the opposite side is putting the brakes on Mercury a little bit here because it's starting to speed up fast. I will take a hopeful, optimistic, can you say hopeful, optimistic, and conservative in the same sentence? Sort of. You got a Piscean Jupiter ruled thing, and then you got Saturn as like, control and boundaries and rules, is throwing this on Mercury. I am taking the perspective that something here is being constructed verbally, and with everything that Mercury's been through for the last 2 months, Saturn is wanting to give it form, a little bit of like push, a little bit of discipline. Maybe speeding a little too fast, Mercury and Virgo. Maybe a little too much going on here. Maybe a little too scattered, zipping out of the retrograde. And Jupiter being involved here, you would think with an emotional Pisces moon eclipse, that would be all swimming deep in emotional waters. I think it is underneath it all, but it's all happening up here. It's all coming in this way. Hence why I started the stream the way I did, if you're not catching that. So understand that Hermes is a player in this lunation in eclipse. Okay, so now it's Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, Gemini, mutable. In a wide way, it's a mutable T-square. We've been dealing with this for the last couple weeks. Take the notes. You've been taking the notes. You've been getting the details, corralling the pieces of the story and the system together the way Mercury and Virgo does. But we don't want to get too brainy about it. We don't want to just stay up here. There's a deeper reasons. Right? What are the deeper reasons? And that's the type of questioning. That's the type of thing that can happen here, in my opinion, with this type of lunation. Now, let's add the mix that it is an eclipse, and then it's a couple other things possibly. The BB blog with a super chat. BB says, celebrating all the love you bring out in us. Well, damn. Is that why we're here? Is that the bigger question? Is that why we're corralling all the facts and details and Saturn's asking us to look at it? Saturn and Pisces dealing with everything and nothing? It does come from a compassionate place. It also is completely dissolved and scattered and full of fantasy and doesn't know what the hell and where it is sometimes. What is this? Well, maybe it's about celebrating all the love that we bring out in each other. Maybe. Thanks for the super chat, baby. I see Lorian in here and K. Michelle. Energetic Principles. What's up, Steffi King? Lisa, House of Twigs, Erica, Titi and X. Lisa, Chaos versus Logic. Interesting, huh? Yep, we got a little bit of this with this. Jagger with an owl. And a super chat. Jagger Waters, thank you for that. I'm going to reply and say, I don't know what happens. Yay! M with a super chat. Are you guys gonna let me do the stream? I'm joking, and I'm thankful and compassionate. Thank you for the super chats, y'all. M with 1 2, busting out with a balloon. The first super chat ever on this channel. Cheers and thank you. It says let's celebrate the first super on a live stream. Psst, I'm celebrating all of you. Let's pretend it's the first time. Hey. Let's pretend it's the first time. All right, so an eclipse then. You're going to talk about an eclipse. The light gets blocked out. These are ominous situations in the course of our history and culture. Full moon exposing like the shadows, and then it gets knocked out. Sneaking in a beginning story, a hint of the nodes that will be switching into Pisces South Node into Virgo South Node very, very soon. I'll show you that. I can show you that in a second when it is. But we got the hint now. Here we are overlapping on a nodal eclipse story here. In a couple of weeks, we'll keep going and doing the October 2nd Libra Aries thing. And then we'll have one more of those next March. And then along with that, we are in truly Pisces, Virgo, eclipse territory. But here it is. The hazy door is opening here. Now, anybody who is between, I will say, 3 degrees off 25. So let's just say 28 all the way to 22 or something. I think if you have anything in Pisces there or mutable signs, I think this eclipse, it really affects you. And I like to keep it condensed that way. I think for any of those people who have other mutable stuff, this is something, but you really want to know and look at your chart, as I always talk about on this channel, and look if something specifically is happening there, if something's getting the beginnings of a story of getting shut out in the Pisces and Virgo part of your chart, or something's coming up that may need to leave. Now, in Pisces, eventually, when the North Node is there, it is going to be a overwhelming kind of movement coming in, a consuming, as in on the other side of the pulling out in the South Node of Virgo. Okay, so just get those things. Here's North Node, and here's extracting South Node. Okay, how am I doing this? Is this even working? I'm thinking I don't know if you catch this. So you get that. I come from this weekend in Tucson. We were talking about the eclipses, and we were we had different versions, as in I said gateways, and they're portals or situations that's changing with eclipses, and I think they are, especially if it really mathematically affects your chart. But as you know and have been learning, you've been learning astrology, some of you, for the last 2 days, or 2 years, or pre-COVID, or into COVID, or the last 20. It doesn't matter. You've been learning. You see the cycles that happen and what slowly comes in and comes out. When it's more closely connected to your chart mathematically, I think it's obvious. But really, you're dealing with 18 months, of a story here with nodal stories. And it's hard to see things a lot of times in the situations. And a lot of times we gauge this place in a couple ways. We will gauge it 6 months later when we have the eclipses again, but we can also sort of gauge it in between. When we get in, let's say the Sagittarian place, later here, when Venus goes through, or when other planets go through, they're in a sense squaring this situation, the other mutable sign, on the way to this eclipse is 6 months from now. A reminder that we're going to have a major Mercury retrograde that's going to happen in a lot of the Sagittarian realm, Capricorn first, but it goes back into Sagittarius, and it's going to hit the mutable places. So that's another check-in. But just, is this a dark situation? It is in a way, but I don't want you to freak yourself out, and I don't expect fireworks is what I'm saying. But I think underneath it all, there's a major shifting and movement happening. It's important not to scare the shit out of ourselves, or if you're the type of person who worries, and here comes an eclipse, and I'm on the live stream, and there's a lot of other ways of looking at this, other opinions astrologer-wise. Really try to step out and take a look at how the information is being presented to you and how it affects you. You've heard me say this on this channel, is to constantly gauge yourself and how you're engaging with the world, information, a TikTok video, an Instagram video, whatever, wherever your existence is. Gauge it, and let's say you're not feeling it per se, and can you alter your existence where you're not freaked out? You only could do so much, because there's other things that are beyond your control. There's the reality. But if there's other things you can shift, and shift your existence or shift from a different viewpoint, that is a mutable way of living. And it's one way to look at this eclipse and anything mutable, is to understand that you can shift and move. So for me, if I think about this, think about this eclipse, there's the Piscean thing of the bigger existence of it all. Like if we go deep with it, right? And there's the other way of like living in the world, and what Pisces does as, in a sense, feeling things in the world from multiple moods and multiple identities in multiple places, at times becoming that identity, that place, that situation. And I think it's a great thing, but you have to be careful that you don't lose yourself completely in another narrative or identity and situation, depending on what it is. So that's where the escapism can come in. That's where we're running away or we get lost. So we have to gauge that when you're a mutable person or mutable situation, is being able to move back and forth from many different angles, identities, or whatever it is, storylines. But you have to come back at some point. You got to be careful you don't get lost. So for me, do I, as a mutable person, get lost? I do constantly, and I'm always trying to find an anchor on the way back. I don't think this is the happiest of lunations, to be honest, okay? But, well, that's the wrong one. We're going back. But I'm thankful for Saturn being opposite Mercury here, because it just keeps my brain in line. So when my brain gets scattered, I can corral it, but know that there's a deeper purpose involved. Or let's say I haven't been in my brain and I'm completely in a wordless, formless identity place and lost, that I can use Mercury to put words to it, to put it into form, and to label it so we know what it is, because then they are our little anchors in our life if we're on the more scattered end. In the more neurotic end, Saturn and Pisces can bring a disciplined system that gives us peace, or answers our questions, or at least about existence, or to connect us to your existence. I said this on the weekend at a podcast sometimes, like the polarity points between Pisces and Virgo, right? So it's like you have, they're both trying to get to a place, to be honest, this kind of place, this calm, possibly this peaceful place, let's say, where everything's level with innate knowledge in different ways. So it's like you do, a system comes in like yoga, you do the series of poses, you zen out, you come to a peaceful place, but you needed to go through the form and the system, right? So there, it's the balancing of the two. So think about this in this lunation for yourself, about the Pisces and Virgo parts of your chart. You can also bring in the Gemini and the Sag stuff, but I want you to at least have a way of looking at this. Now, I don't know if any of you dropped acid watching this, or if you microdosed, or if you're smoking a big fatty as we speak with a glass of red. I don't know if you're like got some pills and some white wine. That's, the California Valley way. Whatever you're doing, it's good to let go. It's good to relieve the pressure. But you need an anchor. You need little tools to keep you together. It's how you do it. It's how you do this. It's how you move to the edge. And how you come back. All right, so those are some of my thoughts on this. I again, overlapping nodes, overlapping eclipse story happening here. Use Saturn and Mercury here. It could be tough, but if you could find the balance between Mercury and Saturn and have them work together, these oppositions then become together, then you can keep a system or revamping of redefinition Saturn of the mind, or what Mercury and the messages are bringing, and put it in the next step and form. It's like a mantra that you repeat over and over again to get you to that place, okay? So my thoughts, my weirdness. I am in chat again. Yasmina, good to see you. Eclipse is on my DC. Haha. You'll have a story for us in 6 months. Esmeralda, carta sorpresa. Haha, that's funny. If you don't know what's getting talked about here, is if in the chat you could see a thing. I have a target of getting 5 super chats, and I'm going to do a carta sorpresa. If I do, I think I need one more, but I think we've already did it with a side super chat. Thank you, Esmeralda. We have Tina R. My moon is 3 degrees Pisces. That's a familiar degree in my world. 3 degrees. All right, I see you all in chat. Titi next. The change have been subtle but big so far. My 6th house revelations have just been about intelligently navigating a situation I inherited. The situation is a death. Wow. Blessings to you, my friend. I will say, the next couple hours, I mean, I wouldn't make any serious decisions unless you consider watching this live stream one. I wouldn't make any. Let's let it flow, okay? Let's let it go. Again, if you need to go look at it, it's your choice. You could see it or not. For me, the full moons have every month. Eclipses don't. But just go with what feels right for you, okay? And in general, even after the eclipse is done, if you could say that, we're having a Moon-Neptune conjunction. Again, how far can you go out? And make sure you come back in. But don't worry, Mercury and Saturn are there for you to help reel it in. All right. And let's make that official. Let's make this an official thing, because let's look at Mercury opposite Saturn, which happens officially. I didn't even say. I did say officially when the eclipse happens, 7:34 p.m. Pacific, and on the 17th, which is in hours. We know it's happening for other parts of the world later. Okay. Before I do, actually, I could do this there. But before I do that, I'm going to do something here, and I'm going to show you. Let's just do it really quick. I'm going to go through, and I'm looking 29, 18, 29, 20, no. and then I am going to keep going. Bear with me now. I'm scrolling through. Here's an interesting point in time. June 15th, 2011, lunar eclipse at 24 degrees Sag. And then we're going to keep going. I think I'm going to find it here soon because I was looking for other reasons the other day. Here's a 28 degree Pisces solar eclipse that happened in 2007, and I will keep going. 29, 15. There's a 2006 lunar eclipse that happened at 24 Virgo. These are deep researchy type of things that one can do if they are having something in their chart, and you can do deeper research. Remember, you want it exactly, if you can, on certain places in your chart. And you can look at past eclipses and see if you can find a thread. Here's 97, September 16th, a lunar at 23 Pisces. I could keep going, and I will not. Here is then September 18th, officially here within hours, we have the Kronos, the big daddy, right across the way from Mercury for the official conjunction. I think it's at the heart of the eclipse in this full moon. It just is. And be thankful, by the way, because Mercury, keep tracking Mercury, because it's going to make all these aspects. And then when we get on the 30th, Mercury is going to be cazimi conjunct the sun from the exterior conjunction, trying to complete a cycle that's happening from the retrograde. So it's like we had Mercury and the sun during the retrograde, and then now on the inside, inferior, then on the outside, we'll have the external that happens on the 30th. Okay, so we're appreciating what Mercury's doing right now. This, in the sense, lunation, you're going to have more clues that have to do with it the closer we get to the 30th when Sun Mercury happens. And then it's within a day and a half, we have our next eclipse. So you see what could happen here. That's what's going on there. That is a 1:50 a.m. Mercury opposite Saturn. Be nice to yourself, okay, with your thoughts too, by the way, if you're going to be thinking and meditating on things and the scenarios. So those types of things, you can construct a different world or existence. It doesn't have to be on your head driving you crazy and keeping you up all night. Now, sometimes there could be a Pisces and Virgo people that have 14, 15, 16 degrees that right now they got Saturn in their world, either opposite their sun, their Virgo sun, or it's on their Pisces sun. And that is tough. This is tough, knowing that the other thing you should know here is Saturn, if that's happening to you, it's the second time this has happened. It will happen a third time because Saturn is retrograde. For those that it's affecting, know that on November 15th, Saturn will move forward and stop being retrograde at 12, 13 degrees. I'm looking at my notes on the wall here. For those specific people, this is a marker point, this full moon in this particular place, okay? So, and you can see here, while this happens, the continuing story with Moon and Neptune conjunction that happens. And we know what happens after that. We know the moon will go into Aries right after that. And I went by the hour. The moon will go into Aries tomorrow on the 18th at 2:23 a.m., just right afterwards. I want you to pay attention to something here, because basically we are at a wild and tough aspect. The eclipse is one thing. I as soon as the moon goes into Aries, that's where I'm a little iffy about stuff, because it's like, oh, you can do what you got to do. I mean, I will say it in this way. Let's say pertaining to the Middle East situation that happened today with the exploding beepers. If you don't know about this story, it is some wild, crazy, horrible stuff. I don't like death, okay? I don't like imposing death on people as human beings. We all die, but this is bullshit, okay? So I don't like it. I wish the shit would stop over there and figure it out. So whatever the case is, you see the moon coming in there to hit the south node at 6 and be squaring the moon here, or Mars, and eventually, be opposite this Venus. This is can be an interesting situation for certain types of situations and events, okay? So, but at the same time, I'm not trying to scare people. Let's go to the 19th when we do this, because I will want to do this and throw in another interesting aspect here because it kind of continues on certain themes. I'd sure like to know where the sun is on my damn thing as an aspect. There it is. Sun doesn't go retrograde. Imagine if the sun went, well, no, that's a weird existence thing. So we're going to do trine Uranus here at 19. So we hear on the 19th at 7:04 a.m. we see now Uranus, which is currently still at 27 degrees retrograde. And if you got a degree here at fixed or a Taurus here, this is big, is actually trining the sun here. And this is a pretty good aspect. I think Virgo sun needs this, especially because it's, depending, has gone through Neptune and Saturn and Pisces situations on the other end. Even the lunation that's come here. This is also the degree of the new moon in Aquarius that happened at the end of August. It was 27 degrees. For those people who have 27 degree fixed, if you're affected by this, we have a little bit of nice help here. Practical Earth connection trine between Uranus and the sun. They're working together. Uranus is bringing in something new to the Virgo practical. I just give me the tools and the facts and I'll do the work. Sun and Virgo, and it's giving a little extra. Here's a little surprise. Here's a little bonus. You're playing a video game and you run into somebody on the road and it just happens to be in the form of a cow and a bull, and he hands you a piece of knowledge. And that Venus, did I just do that? Uranus and Taurus is ruled by where are we going to do this? Can I find it, please? There we go. There's the Venus there. Remember, even though things are weird, we do have Venus in Libra and Mercury in Virgo. We got two planets that are at home, and regardless of the aspects, we got a little something there, okay? So just remember that. That happens on the 19th, Sun trine Uranus, okay? When we get into the 20th, I have a lot of other things I want to talk about in the stream, so that's why I'm breezing through. I'll look in the chat here in a second. And 11, I see you. Hey, what's up? Good to see you here. And you're bringing up fixed star Mark Haber here. I see what you're doing. Yep. GME with a super chat. Thanks. This super chat has hippos coming out of the water. Hey, look at that. I wonder if they're hungry. Thanks, GME. So let's keep going. Let's go to Friday, because on Friday, a next big aspect of the week, and this is when I said in the copy of my stream that even though we're having this full moon, all the outer body planets have major aspects this week, from Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, along with Mercury, and we're getting to our other big planets here. And this, now we're doing it, is Sun opposite Neptune, and that happens September 20th at 5:16 p.m. Pacific time. Here you could see it right here. The Sun now at 28. Now it's having Neptune. It's odd here. If you are this Virgo Piscean type of person that has planets from 23 to pretty much 29 degrees, this is a week for you. Okay, and this rest of the month, remember, Mercury is going to hit these places and just trail up from behind. Okay, so basically, Neptune is throwing full dissolving tidal wave onto the Sun in Virgo and trying to dissolve some of the mercurial edginess that it can do. Hopefully, it's in the form of a concoction in prayer, a tincture, a tea, a bath. That it's an alchemical process. It's in itself. We're not forgetting where Jupiter is ruling Neptune in Pisces. And we know Mercury rules that. Again, it all comes back to Mercury. Mercury rules the alchemical process. It takes the light and the dark, whatever herbs, underworld, outer world, concocts it together. This is the way of doing this. Now, for those who have 27, 28 degree, let's say, Virgo suns, you've had Neptune in your world for a while now. Can you, at this point with the transit, for a while now, start to understand what it is? A lot of the times, it isn't until after. Okay, so saying that, if you can gauge it, just a little bit of why, that's enough. If you want and need and you do not understand and you don't know what the hell is going on in your world because you've had Neptune opposite your sun, like your energy's off or you seem lost or your words haven't been forming for a while because your Mercury ruled, and you might have Mercury in Virgo too because it's not too far away from the Virgo sun, that kind of thing, and it's been muted, or find a way. Write a poem. Concoct something new with the herbs. Let go of worry if you can. How do you do it? Dissolve the worry. Dissolve things. Now, if you're a little bit too, let's say, dissolved, I would try to be the mutable person that you are and recognize that that is what's happening to you. And that is enough. And sometimes if I said earlier on this stream that I said, I was saying, for those who didn't catch it, I got slow fades today. It didn't catch it, like existence and being on the edge of existence and trying to question one's existence and why, which comes natural as human beings. This isn't a question. This is more of this with Neptune opposite the sun. Depending on the Virgo, this is welcomed. But it can freak some out too because they don't have nothing to hold on Earth sign. Water just comes flooding in over the situation, over a person. So what do I say? Do I say new age rhetoric that was developed in the last 65 years? Like, just let it go, just go with the flow, just da da da. I mean, honestly, you know me, I'm more of a practical person. Saturn's around still in Pisces. I think whatever a Virgo sun in the later degrees here that's have Neptune, I think some sort of form is good. Again, with oppositions, you want to try to bring them together. You got a hint of it during this eclipse and what's going on here. You've had hints of it, to be honest, for almost 2 years now because Saturn has been opposite your world too. And for those at 28 degrees, those Virgos at 28 degrees, you're not done. Saturn is coming for you in the springtime, and it'll be along with Neptune. Just accept it. Look at that. Understand it. That's why I'm preaching form and matter and function, even when it comes to dissolving and letting go. All right, so there's that. K. Michelle has a 27-degree Virgo moon. Hey. You're on stage. Man, what are you doing with Neptune opposite your moon? If you want to drop, if anybody's got, by the way, if anybody's got anything in there about hitting, say what you feel. If you got, like Kay Michelle, got 27-degree Virgo moon here, like what the hell's Neptune been doing to you? How's it been happening for you? You could drop it in chat. Those are the best ways, better than I can ever say. Nadia, keep it up. I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying. I'm working this up here. Nadia, thank you for the super chat. Look at that. Thanks, y'all. I think you guys are going to get a Costa Suppressa. That is happening 5:16 p.m. Pacific, Neptune opposite the sun along. And let's showcase this because it's such an interesting week. We cannot forget that the moon is now in this time in Taurus. You see the upcoming moon Uranus conjunction, as always, is going to happen every month. We haven't even said anything about this here at the Pluto, but we know that's going on. But saying that, you see Venus here inching towards something. Inching slowly into the underworld right there. Slowly going down. On the 21st, you'll see my little friend Mercury here on Saturday, at least on Pacific end, the 21st at 1:49 a.m. Squares Jupiter. On Saturday, it's building all week. It's in play. It pinpoints here on Saturday. Here we have ¿Dónde estás, Mercury? It's, can I have my annotator? That's why my brain is scattering here. There is the 20 degree, and there is Jupiter at 20 degrees for a square. Wow. So how much, again, how much there's, okay, I didn't say this, and I didn't want to say this. I didn't want to bring up the word confusion and doing with this eclipse and stuff, because I was bringing in Saturn and Mercury to diffuse the confusion of it all. But if, let's say, someone doesn't catch the Saturn and Mercury part of this full moon and what's happening this week, and they get stuck at the midpoint of all this in the Jupiter place, and, you know, they don't catch this. They don't go use Saturn. They forget about Saturn over here, and they don't do it. This is where this is complete mind blowing out with no boundaries, no places. It just, for this week, I am talking about using Mercury and Saturn to anchor you all who are affected by this, because this is just too much. And we've had already too much of Mercury back in August with the retrograde and stuff. We got to check ourselves. Again, Saturn is the player in Mercury here, but a Mercurial Jupiter square. Now, on the positive end of things, it can be very confusing, but on the positive end of things, this could really up the mind chatter, or the mind, the seeking of facts and sources, and putting those things together and pushing out into another stratosphere. It could be a good thing, but for the most part, let's say you were to go to the library and get paper books, and you were to do a research project. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, let's say you were to do the same thing on your phone with 150 Chrome tabs open, Nicholas. 150 Chrome tabs open. Do you get anything done? Amongst all the important research, do you actually even come out with anything, or just more confusion? It's like, this is the way it could happen. Can you figure it out, right? That's why, for me, a Saturnian way of being here this week helps this situation with the Mercury-Jupiter square. Again, this could be a lot of heady talking, and if you're all caught up in a mutable situation this week, and there's arguments, and there's things changing in your life from a relational view, or whatever else that's happening at work, it's just a lot of this, and it might not go anywhere, and it actually might bring even harder situations down the line. And that's the way Saturn can come in too, to bring in reality to that, and there's a reckoning. So be careful with the Mercury-Jupiter square is my advice to you. I'm saying this to myself as someone who's got a Mercury, or I have a Mercury in Gemini, but as a sun in Gemini at 20 degrees. This kind of thing can inflame. Well, Mars is more an inflammation, but let's say Jupiter with no boundaries expands. It can make things go over the top, is what I'm saying. I hope that makes sense. This is my ways of doing astrology. I'm gonna wait a second. I'm gonna be real with you about something that happened that I thought of on the plane last night coming home and today. And it's my own ego trip. It's my own effing issue that I have with the world, but really with myself. I know things. How have I known things? Is because I've crashed and burned, and my life experience. We all have this. Now, I never have done well in school. I barely got through school. I never went to college, could never get into college. My life went on another thing. I dropped an acid. I went to that school. I went to creative school. I went to music, partying, joints, kissing, loving, fornicating, drinking, mushroom trips, picked up a camera, fell in love with silver gelatin highlight crystals on paper and put them in a developer, and I lost my mind, and I found myself. I found my voice. I was a street photographer, and I was idolizing Robert Capa and Joseph Kudelka and Cartier-Bresson and Eve Arnold. All these people who shot in their early 30s and 50s and 60s on the street and were documenting the world, and that was the way I saw the world. That is me. That is who I am. There ain't no scholarships. There ain't no trust fund. There ain't no somebody paying 60 G's a year for a college. There ain't no liberal arts college and degree and fancy ass words that come out of there and then implementing them politically. That is not who I am. It's not where I come from. Where I come from is chasing light and dark. And I did it for years with a camera. And in a dark room, you're alone putting film on the canisters in the dark. That's the school I went to. And when the fifth whiskey went down at 4:30 in the morning in my dark room, I was in the magic place. Because what I saw and what I captured that I've seen all my life, I captured on the silver highlight gelatin crystals. And the crystals go through the developer and they make the light come out. And the stop bath stops the development process. And the next step is the fixer that takes away the unused silver highlight crystals. And hence a picture is formed. That is where I come from. No trust funds. No gifted SUVs. Now that's my trip. That's my reality. So you wonder where I come from? What I know, how I do, that's where it comes from. It comes from hard work, a hard-working family, and walking the streets, chasing shadow and light. That's where I learned astrology, to be honest. I just didn't have the words. It just happened through visuals and image. And while everybody else has made the money, or the people I was comparing myself to and losing things to because I didn't have a college degree or I didn't do the normal way, for some reason, that has come up for me in the last 24 hours. I do my channel in my weird way, but just so you know, that's where it comes from. And I struggle sometimes because I wonder if this mind, if this thing, if I had the other way of life, the other things, the school, the degree, the graduation, the wedding ring, the way, the other way. To each their own. But I struggle with that sometimes. And I was thinking about existence and what my mind says and how at times it fuels me. I love my life. I love what's happened to me, warts and all, the worst things. And other times I beat myself up because like, if I only would have did this and not went on a 2-week psychedelic trip somewhere and I would have studied and I would have been that and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what would I have been? These things that I struggle with now. The reason why I'm saying this to you is when we question who we are and our existence and where we are in our world, we cannot help but compare and to look and to see what others have done or what I could have done or what you could have done. And I had to remind myself again. Last night on the plane, I saw that moon out there, high in the sky. And when I woke up this morning, and the dream that I had, and I came back to the place, I chase light in the dark. That is who I am. Now, I started the stream, and I said, and I came on camera first, who are you? And I don't say this to judge you or to say that, well, because you had this life or you had these resources given to you, whatever. No. I'm not saying that at all. But to think about where you come from and what has happened, not happened. And when you find yourself in the place of doubt and what I could have done, what I could have been, or I have this, but I don't really care about what I have. You forget about what you have because you see something on the outside of you somewhere else and you're like, I want that, or how come they have that? And it's like when you get into those places, it's like to find a way to come back and to actually use your past and go, oh, I went on those tangents in my life, and it might have seemed detrimental according to societal views or what other people are, what you're supposed to do. I did the opposite, let's say, in your world. But if you really look at it, it is the best learning and the best schooling one can get and the best knowledge, knowing that you walked your own way and you risked it and you might have paid a price. But that knowledge, that knowing, that's existence, right? Again, my way of thinking about things, my way of thinking, the place I've been the last 24 hours, you know? And I was thinking, this stuff's hitting my chart, mute all this stuff. And I came to this place. And then, obviously, I get on here on my rant, I'm done. I'm going live. You see me? Feel me on this? I could have went, well, what am I doing? I did this. I should have went this, and I disappear, and I go the opposite way from going live, and I go the opposite way from expressing the school that I went to, where I come from, right? And I disappear. I've done it many times in my life. That's why I could have been streaming on YouTube 4 years ago. I didn't, because I would push myself out, or I find a way to distract myself to identify with something else. So thinking about this eclipse and everything else of what I identify with or what I don't in those parts of my chart or the mutable parts of my chart, these are the things. Am I personal? You know I am on my channel, but I'm saying this to you because maybe you can get something from this from your own world, right? It's something, your own thing when you are in certain places. So, that's my mind. This is September 21st on the screen at 1:49 a.m. We have Mercury square Jupiter, Taurus moon, and very close to Libra birthdays. Let's go to did I jump? Oh yeah. No. I can't forget something here that's just kind of funny for those numerology freaks. I'm going to show you something here. Hey, you with me? You with me? Just want to check in. You with me here? Thank you for listening to me and holding space for me to do my thing. I just want to say that. I have people here that know me. There's people watching who don't know me, going to go off on a rant. I don't know if I lose people or not. It doesn't matter. I just want to say, you with me? All right? Because I'm with you. All right. So let's do this. So let's go to something fascinating. That's great. I love little things like this because if we continue the transits, I'm still on the 21st. This goes into the 22nd for some people. But here is Sun trine Pluto. And let's go here. It's at 11:11. That's why I'm laughing for you numerology freaks out there at 11:11 right there. And here is Pluto at 29 degrees. And we got a month or so left of this, a little bit more than that. And here we have the Sun at 29, and we have a trine. It's not all bad with Pluto at 29 Capricorn. There are reasons why it's happening. But you could see now the Sun, what it's been through here in the last couple weeks, the Sun in Virgo. Saturn, Uranus. Did we even do that one? Did I do Sun Uranus? I did. Yeah, I said Sun trine Uranus. Then we did Sun Neptune. That's in 24 hours. That happens. And here we are at Sun Pluto at the end of it. So if it's a Sun in Pluto, the later degrees, or a Sun in Virgo, know that you're walking out with at the end of this week with Pluto, and in an empowering, regenerative Pluto that is bringing a past something to you because of the retrograde in Capricorn. And let's remember that it's Saturnian ruled here in Pisces. And let's remember, Pisces is ruled right now by Jupiter. And let's remember that Jupiter is ruled by what? Gemini. Or excuse me, Mercury. And we're back to Mercury again. I said for the last couple weeks on my streams, Mercury's the player, the little guy, the little something that keeps bringing the messages, just keeps doing it. And, Mercury at some point is going to be trine Pluto and all this and do this. So know that these things that are happening in the chart at these degrees for those who are affected mutable, that, Mercury's bringing up the rear in all this to kind of put it all together for you, a little map. We love Mercury in Virgo right now, even with some of these aspects. We dig it because it's got a Saturn influence. We dig this. We take it because of what's going to happen down the line. And next thing you know, it's going to go into Libra. It's a whole different story. So we deal with this. And as Stephanie King in chat has mentioned, and this is a great point, that said the last grand Earth trine with Sun, Pluto, Uranus. And yes, it is. From sun-wise, it happens with this week, from the sun perspective. So, but Mercury gets to do this too, right? This goes to what I'm saying. Thank you, Stephanie King, for that. So just know that for those who have seen a week from the Piscean Virgo place at certain later degrees, what you go through this week finishes with Pluto in Capricorn. Listen, Pluto in Capricorn is not all that bad. From a political angle, I get it, but remember, it's not all messed up. There are people right now that might have Pluto opposite their 29-degree Cancer sun, and they're like ready to be done, okay, after so many years of this. But there's other people who have, planets and earth signs or water signs at 29 degrees. Let's say if you're a Pisces sun at 29 degrees, you got Neptune around your world, but you got Pluto around there. Talk about a transit. Our 29-degree Pisces sun people, they're definitely in a different existence. But just know that it's not all bad with Pluto, okay? So Pluto comes to unearth and expose and to bring something from the depths of within. And in this case, I feel it comes with a mercurial perspective, very clean and concise because it's in Virgo and is the fact, the little tidbit that we need, the little part in the engine that we've been searching for to put it into the system that we've been working on this long story to help you out. So that's what happens there on the 21st. And I will do one more thing before I go into chat. And let's talk about a aspect that happens on Sunday the 22nd because it's very important. Moon will be into Gemini. And then I will do something here. Holy shit, I'm an hour and 15 minutes straight here. This is when I should be done. I'm almost done. And here we have Venus on the 22nd at 2:14 p.m. We have Venus here. Now's the real deal, what we've been building towards all week in the background. Venus at 29, now squaring. Now, you cardinal people at this, it's a whole different story than the Virgo sun at 29. This is something else. So, Venus in Libra goes out of her transit this way. And this is a transit that's since 2008. For those who have Venus in Libra, cardinal degrees around these latter points, you've had to deal with this for the last couple of years, but this is the last one. I think here that Venus gets a Plutonian tattoo for the rest of their life on this one. And if you're a person recently that's 28, 29 degrees, let's say Venus in Libra, or your sun is there, you're there, and you got the one couple other little things to tie up before you say bye-bye to Pluto. I think this particular transit will bring that up for those specific people. Pluto-Venus squares can be very manipulative, obsessive, and controlling. And the story of this could come up. But hopefully at this point, if you're that specific person out there, you have figured this out and you've turned the tables and you've taken the Plutonian lessons and you've taken it and you turned it into your own staff to wield and power to wield. Venus in Libra doesn't get enough props sometimes for what it does because it's supposed to be all about aesthetics and being receptive. But it is a cardinal sign, and shout out to Samuel Reynolds. I'm part of his zodiac mafia, as he calls it, the certain signs. Libra's part of the zodiac mafia. We got to watch out too. They're on the other end. So, my Venus and Libra, certain Libra people, have they learned their lessons? Are they using Pluto as Pluto in a manipulative way and on the chessboard? It could be, but I'm going to look at it the other way, is that there is a tattoo here, and there's one more thing to just say goodbye to. A part of the Venus and Libra story of maybe it's been a little too nice at times in its journey as a Venus and Libra. Maybe it will do anything to harmonize any relational or group situation. It doesn't speak its mind, so it becomes passive aggressive and resentful. All these types of things, Pluto will unearth the ways of that, is one way to look at this. So can you turn this into a power situation where one feels at the end a regenerative Venus and Libra? You can, but you have to be real, and it doesn't matter, because if you're not being real, Pluto's going to show you where you're not being real. It's going to show up and throw it right in your effing face. So regardless, there's no way out of this. There ain't no way out to the underworld. And for all my video game players out there who know the game Hades, there's the famous line in there, every time something happens, there is no escape. But there is, really. And when you grasp that thing, that there's no escape, you let go. And then the skin finally comes off the snake, and then it is reborn. That is the last of my thing. It happens on the 22nd at 2:14. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. And then, shit, just for kicks. Let's just do it here. And then we have it here that happens here on an ingress. I've been on a straight going here, no breaks. Then we have here at 7:36 p.m., what I've been waiting for is Venus goes into Scorpio. And it just came from out of a Plutonian place into this place. If you're going to be reborn through Pluto, you might as well come back as a Venus and Scorpio. So there is that. And that is a whole nother story for something other time. And let's check in on the chat. And thanks for letting me go on a full hour and 20 minute without a break deal. So I hope you're well out there. I want to look in chat. Mandy Bailey, thank you. MC's bringing up a song, Things I Regret, Brandy Carlisle. I got to remember that. By the way, for those watching, and if you're commenting and you ever have any song things, when I'm done with the streams, if there was a song that came up, you can always put it in the comments. I have a particular song I'm going to put at the end of this. I can't play it, unfortunately, or else I'm going to get demoted here on YouTube. But there's a certain song I've had in my head today, and I'll put it in chat at the end. So I want to say Inner Circle. Oh, you love my rants. Ooh, somebody does. Sarah Lucher, I see you in chat. Foss Lilith. That is a name, by the way. Johnny Newton looked up the song. Wesley says, I love my Venus and Libra, but I don't love that it squares my Neptune and Capricorn. Oh man, I'm sure you've got an interesting relational situations. MC says, asterisk, she's gotten better. Don't mean to be accusatory. Lifelong relationship. I see. And the Inner Circle I see. Oh, this is Charlie. What's up, Charlie? How are you? What's up? You were on my mind, actually, not too recently. Tell you why. There's a big flight sale going. By the way, you want a hint out there? For the next several hours, we only got a couple left. Alaska Airlines has, especially on the West Coast, 30% off all flights. I was looking at flights, not like I have the money to do that right now, but I was looking. If you're thinking about booking a flight right now on the West Coast especially, go to Alaska Airlines. I'm not getting anything from that advertisement. I'm just saying they're doing the deal. Okay. So Venus and Scorpio, that's hot. Eventually Venus is going to trine Saturn, and it's going to got a Venus trine Mars and Cancer. Think about that. Going to have Venus Pluto sextile that's going to happen. Don't tell me that you don't want no Venus and Scorpio. I'll take some Venus and Scorpio. Or they'll take me. Anyway, so let me get rid of the screen. I want to do something really quick. Is that it? No, that's not it. That's it, because I'm going to do something very, very quick. I want to mention something. And let me Man, my body's tripping right now. Okay, so I'm going to pull a chart up on the screen, and we'll go back to it right here. Okay, first of all, P. Diddy, we don't have a birth time for. Right now, I have this Harlem, New York. We know that, 12 a.m. Pacific. Why the hell do I have Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever the F he's calling himself right now? Well, he might be calling himself like a jail, in a jail cell, basically. But listen, we don't have a birth time. Quickly, I want to say something to you. I want you to notice his Venus at 22, his Jupiter, his Uranus. Okay, we know he's a Scorpio. We do not know his birth time. We're also noticing a 29-degree Mars in Capricorn. He's got Pluto on there. He has the last couple of years. Notice this. He is starting a nodal story as of today, really, with the eclipses. If none of you have been paying attention for the last couple of years at certain increments, and they happen during the eclipses, because I've been tracking this, that he got arrested yesterday for racketeering. This case has been building up for a while. But basically, he's being charged, accused of sex trafficking, racketeering, a bunch of other things, even other things that aren't official, like not paying people what they should have been paid in record deals. There is even the old rumor that he's the one that put out the hit on Tupac Shakur, who was killed in Vegas, who, by the way, I can pull that chart up. It's fascinating because in the last year, the person that supposedly killed Tupac was finally arrested, supposedly for his murder. And Tupac's nodes have to do with all this too. I want to point this out, that he basically, every single eclipse season for the last couple years, has had a new charge, a new lawsuit he's dealt with or had to pay off, a new raid. Remember when the raid happened on his home? That was back then. And if you look at when anything has been cardinal, especially Mars and cardinal signs, especially with P. Diddy in the last year and a half, he's had a major public thing happen. Anyway, in the last 24 hours, he was arrested, and that will happen. There's a lot more that's going to happen to this, I think, when we actually, the eclipse today is at 25 degrees. It's happening on his opposite, his Pluto. We know Pluto is on his Mars right now, and we know this Venus has gone through basically south node stuff here the last year and a half with the eclipses. So if you need a good chart example, please, out there, somebody, P. Diddy, you ain't watching shit because you got other shit to deal with, you crazy. Listen, man, I think a lot of it's true with this done and more. This person is a manipulator and violent, hurtful person towards men and women, by the way, and is a grifter. So that's my opinion. I try to be objective, but I'm I'm sorry, and so I actually think down the line that there might be a connection that becomes public where they figure it out, that he was actually part of Tupac Shakur is officially being killed on the streets of Vegas. So those are my opinions. I just want to point that out. There is that, and if you want something to look at in the future with a chart, even though we don't have a birth time, P. Diddy's chart is an interesting one. You could take a look at that. I wanted to mention this, and only for those who have been reading and seeing what's been going on the last couple of years. All you got to do is look at the dates when headlines happen, or subpoenas happen, or raids happen on its home, and they're all connected to the eclipses. There you go there. Also know that he had eclipses even before then that were happening in Scorpio and Taurus that were hitting his sun and Mercury, so on and so forth. Dude's going down. And here is an 8th degree, by the way, there. We'll pay attention in the future when certain things happen in his legal battles. It'll most likely be completely connected to this Virgo Pisces and stuff there. So I just wanted to say that. I'm going to go look at chat here. So yeah. Yeah, I see y'all in chat. So there's that, okay? I also want to point something else out here, that today there was a massive, crazy thing that happened in Lebanon where people who had beepers on them, basically it was a targeted explosion, supposedly they haven't said it, but the Israelis had this plan where basically they blew these beepers up all at the same time that people were holding or they're in their bags as an orchestrated attack. I want to say that basically this happened as Mars in Cancer is squaring the nodes. I mentioned this earlier. We remember here on October 7th last year that Mars was at 28 degrees of Libra. Let's just do this right now, actually. Let's just pick October 7th, and we'll pick 2023. It's going to be for Portland. Don't pay attention to that. You're going to see here that basically, and I will do this. I will move this. I'm going to move it to, I'll move it to there, right here, okay? Again, just pay attention to planets. This happened last October 7th. I think I was on the Astrology podcast with Austin and Chris right before this happened, right? The episode. And we talked about things, but we didn't know in which way. And we were calling out Mars and all this. So I just want you to remember that day the moon was in Cancer, okay? And there's the 27-degree connection to the south node that happened. And even after that when Mars and even Venus in cardinal signs in the last year have hit these square to nodes, opposite to nodes, conjunct to nodes, we've had major things happen politically in the Middle East and even in Russia. So I want to point out what happened today because Mars is there. Now, here's the thing. If you're knowing the transits right now, you know that Mars is going to be pretty much in Cancer all the way till next spring. There's a period of time here for a couple weeks in November or whatever. It goes into Leo and it comes back on the retrograde. So basically, a lot of what we're seeing, there's going to be multiple Mars movements that are happening, triggering like points like the 24-degree place where this happened or 27 degrees cardinal. Mars in the retrograde in Cancer goes all the way back to 17, but it touches this story. And we have to remember that Mars will make 3 oppositions to Pluto in all of this. The first one, if we were to look to now, and I don't care if the stream goes longer because I think this is very important to look at, is we will go to, I'm going to forget about the day here. Actually, let's do it this way if it lets me. If I go, and I didn't do this before, but if we go Mars opposite Pluto, we could see it right here on the 3rd, right here, that Mars is at 29 degrees Cancer, and there it is hitting Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn is going to change up. So there's the first opposition, right? Cardinal degrees. And we notice, the nodes here are at 6 here. So we're just going to say that. Okay, so then we're going to go look at right here. We'll look at first. We'll look at when Pluto goes back into Aquarius. Let's just go by the day. So here's the 4th. Here's the 4th. Let me get my bearings. Here's the 4th. Okay, by the way, earlier, some of you on my Instagram know I do my Moon Pluto transmissions on my community group there. I did one this past weekend. It was the first Moon Pluto conjunction in Capricorn we've had for months. We're going to have a total of 3 of those. The last 3 Moon Pluto conjunctions in Capricorn. So anyway, here's the second one that we're coming up upon right here that happens between the 7th and 8th, right? So there's that, and then we keep going. Now Pluto's still there on the 20th, basically. From the 19th to the 20th, we have Pluto go back into Aquarius. Now it is gone forever, at least in our lifetimes. We're never going to have Pluto in Capricorn again, right? And you could see, though, on this day what's happening, because it's right here. It's like Pluto goes in to Aquarius, but the moon is at 28 degrees. It's right there when it switches. So then we know that the next one is, let's go by the hour. So we're on the 21st now. We will go, why did I do it this way? I did it the long, okay, we'll just pick here. Okay, there's 5:30 something in the morning Pacific on the 20th. And then the next hour at 6 in the morning, 6:30, we have our second, this is Moon Pluto opposition. I'm losing myself right now. Okay, no, now I know what I did. I think you're all watching what I did. I jumped a little too far because I was staring at the moon. So there is the first one, right? Sorry. Here's the first one. I was pointing out when Pluto went in Aquarius. Sorry, I went on a tangent there. That's important. No, I wanted to show you that. And then here we got Mars at the top of the chart that's moving through, right? So it's like, okay, it's gone. It's going to keep going. But it doesn't. And we know here that it goes all the way through. And when we get into basically the first week here of December is when it goes retrograde at 6 degrees, pretty much there on December 8th, 7th, and 8th. And it starts to go back. And then it's here when it's going back, we're going to do our second Pluto moon opposition here around the third beginning of the year. Here it is at 1 degree right here. And here it is there, right? So here's our second Mars-Pluto situation. Explosive stuff. This is no joke. Notice here, nodes at 0 degrees Aries. You feel me? All right, so there's that. And then I bet you there's another way. Instead of doing it the long way, let's go there. Yeah, there's the second. There's the official one on the second there, the one I just did by hand manually. And here is the last one that will happen on April 26th is when we have the third Pluto moon opposition, not conjunction. I was saying conjunction here at 3 degrees way in the spring. So I wanted to bring this up because of political matters that are happening, and it carries this over even into fixed signs, that this is very combustible politically in many situations. And if you happen to be a person that has later cardinal degrees or the beginning of fixed, know that your Mars Pluto is a thing. And obviously there's all the other planets that come in to square this in different intervals. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that up and show it to you, and it had to do with some of the politics that we're dealing with. Okay. Stephanie, Netanyahu's chart. It even hurts me to even look at that chart, to be honest. So saying that, I did what I wanted to do mission wise, and we're at the point of the stream where I want to say goodbye and wind things down. So, but it's important that I do it my way. We hit the super chat goal today. I want to thank everybody who helped me with the super chat goal. It said carta sorpresa, and that has to do with a surprise card that I want to pull. And I'm going to do this with something here. I got a dark background today. What is going on? Did I have this didn't work. I didn't do my thing. Why didn't I do this part of it? So anyway, let's actually put there on the owl. So let's do this poll with a quick unboxing. Recently in my life, I've had a conversation with somebody out there in the big universe and the cosmos, and we're talking, and it somehow came to this and a certain deck. And then this weekend when I was in Tucson, when I went to go to do the podcast at Cosme Astrology, Lisa Warman, you were watching, by the way. Thank you for everything. Tabitha, who works there, thank you for everything that you did. All the people that I met in Tucson, the people I met earlier this year who were there, Cameron Allen, Ashley, it's good to hang with you. We were staying at the same hotel. Colin Bedell was there. We hung, we did a podcast together. I'll find out if that can be done public or shown public. But when I walked into the studio one of the times, my eyes went directly to this deck, and it was the deck that I've been talking about and I've had conversations with somebody, and it was there. I'm like, oh man, like, do I need another deck? Yes, I do. And so I went there. And so the name of this deck is the Mystical Dream Tarot. And the artwork on this deck is beautiful. It's part of the reason why I got it. So let me crank this open. I don't have my pocket knife with me because I usually do, but don't. And we're going to pull a card from it to end this stream. And motherfucker, why is this? See, I want my. Well, you hold on with me. There we go. Let's do this. I see super chat coming in. I'm going to get to that. anyway, we're gonna, as always, I'm gonna pull a random card here. I got my 5th official super chat here from Wake Me From This. Thank you, Wake Me From This, for the super chat. Wake Me From This. Actually, that's a good, Wake Me From This is a good, interesting thing for this eclipse for some people. So maybe somebody doesn't want to be woken up. Somebody's like, wake me up. So thanks for the super chat. So let's do this. And then we'll say goodbye. Let's pull a chart. So here we're going to do this. Look at it. Ooh, this is definitely mutable. I like this. Wow. Yeah. All right. That's cool. Do that. Let's just do this, right? So I got a little tab here. Oh, I wonder, there's the book. Oh, there's a book. Okay. We're going to get to that. Oh, and it came on this way. So, I got to take the things off here. I'll put a link in this chat. You know, I do my affiliate links. Look at the ones, the Innocent, and the other one's 4 of Cups. Isn't that beautiful? The artwork is so dope. And I thought it was rightfully so that it is the dream, the mystical dream. I didn't plan this. You know how I roll. I just do stuff here and it just happens that way. So let's take that off. And we're going to, is there a reason why it's in 2 sections? It's funny. The cups were on one end with the swords and then pentacles. And then, oh, maybe, no, there's a reasoning to this. And then, oh, it goes the major arcana was in the other one. That's what's going on. Oh, so it only has, oh, no, it does. Okay, so let me just do this. This isn't the one I'm picking, but I just want you to see. So let's pick. I'm gonna shuffle, and then we're gonna pick to say goodbye. So we're gonna have the attention. You know how I do this at the end of my live streams. I pick a card from this beautiful deck. I'm really psyched to get. I just want to show you that I'm shuffling because like I'm not doing some crazy David Blaine shit on here or like pulling these cards on purpose or whatever and just for the stream. But you're seeing that I'm shuffling, and I can't see what's going on here, right? All right. Clear my brain, dude. Today, tonight, this Who Nations, this eclipse, full moon, this live stream, this transit, the last 24 hours, that existence, your existence, our togetherness, our questioning, but knowing that we're linked, everything and nothing. Okay. Seven of Cups. So is that like a scarab? And then there's like a tower. I know you're going to chime in on chat, and I always love it when you do this, when you chime in and you tell me what this is, okay? But I'm going to read what it says in the book. And so yeah, let me so let me do that. And yeah, it's beautiful, huh? So I got obelisk. So what did I pick? 7 of Cups. This is a card. This is a card of dreamers and lovers, of unrealistic expectations, of a fantasy of love that cannot be matched by reality. The lover born of make-believe is unattainable, yet sought by the romantic who cannot see the unreality of the vision. The fantasy lover dwells beyond the towering skyscrapers. The vision is as elusive as the barely visible clouds that drift in the heavens. Sadly, like the clouds, the only way this love shall come to earth is in a shower of tears or the crashing destruction of a thunderbolt. For the cloud of unknowing will eventually collapse, leaving the romantic with nothing but the deflated dream and the pool of tears. In a reading, unrealistic views may block the seeker from seeing and accomplishing good works. If there is an awakening, it is a good time for a realistic beginning of a new relationship, business, or personal. Passion expended can manifest altruistic works, fantasy, and illusion. There's more to that I could have read, and I will actually. I need to read this because of what I mentioned earlier. This is the impossible dream of the escapist who may tenaciously hold on to it. The dream is one of eternal love matching the gods of ancient mythology. The scarab holds the dream, which is seen reaching the realm of heaven. If this vision turns away from the unrealistic fantasy of the impossible, it can birth a love that manifests compassionate acts. Devotion to an idea can create the opportunity of a partnership in altruistic endeavors, or the drive shall yield good acts. Once they awaken to reality, the seeker can move beyond the illusions and thus direct their drive and passion towards good works. I love doing this on air because it always is dialed. It always is. So again, a beautiful deck that I'm so glad that I picked up and was able to share with you on the stream. I will, hold on. I need to do something here. And I want to put a link to it. And you got to give me a second here as I call this up, and then I will say goodbye. Going on a long stream today. I had a feeling this was going to be, there were no damn boundaries, Nicholas, today in my rants. But let us do this. Let us go here, and I will say, what's this called? The Mystical Dream Tarot. If it will show up here on my thing. You don't spell dream with two E's because I just did that. And it doesn't have it here. I am very surprised. I'm going to have to go to the Big River and do this, unfortunately. And I'll look at chat here before I leave. You should see what I'm doing. I'll do that next. It is here. You can see it right here. I will put a link to that in chat, to my affiliate link, which helps the channel. I'd sure like the link. There we go. And that will be thrown into chat. Oh, hey, Uki, I'm so glad you're here because you would know. By the way, the pal here says Venus square Neptune. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, my friend. By the way, I like the new profile where you're constructing the tarot cards in real form, like in your photographs that you're taking. It's amazing. I keep doing it. Don't stop, okay? That's really good because you got the aesthetics down. So I just want to say that. So definitely a Neptunian thing regardless. So I put that in chat, the link there. I want to try, and then we're going to play ourselves out here. Just a great deck. I can't wait to work with this. I'm still stuck on my other deck right now that I've been pulling. Yeah, it's not in here. Man, it's so bad. I can't put it on my bookshop.org. I hate it when I can't do it through this. It just pisses me off. And it's like, why won't it do that? Anyway, one more try. Yeah. Oh, I found it. Well, this is the book. I don't know if I found it. See, I got to say bookshop.org, I love them, but there's search quality on their site. You watching out there and you're working on a bookshop.org, you need to fix your search on there to really use keywords, even if they're misspelled or wrong. So, I'm going to add this onto my book list for my my YouTube live stream book list that I have on my storefront. I'm going to put all this there, and I will also put a copy of the direct link into chat for you all right here. You got it, Uki. No, yeah, you keep doing what you do, my friend. So so there you go. There's that. I'm so glad I got this deck. And for certain of you watching out there who were in my life the last 24 hours and certain conversations, I also want to thank you, because for those people I have conversations with and those I haven't yet, there's been a massive dream thing that's happened to me in the last 24 to 48 hours. I'm really interested in tonight in documenting my dreams. By the way, I didn't think this stream was going to go into the exactness of the full moon, but it's looking that way. It's going to happen in 6 minutes here. No, 4 and 3, 7 minutes. All right, we gotta go out. But I just want to say thanks to those who have helped me and who also came to me, and I came to you in the dream world. So saying that, I want to thank everybody on the stream tonight for hanging in here with me. I think I had a good crowd tonight. Thanks for the donations, all of that. All right. I'm working on other things. I need to rest up. I've had a long 4 days. I had an amazing time in Tucson. That place is, I can tell I'm going down again. It's a very mystical place. There's a lot I need to discover. And whenever I do go back down, I will let people know, because I did some in-person sessions down there. I love to do those things in person. West Coast people, if you happen to live there, this is something more I want to do in person with visiting and doing certain events on the West Coast eventually, okay? Mackenzie, I see you in chat. We just became friends on IG. I've been paying attention to what you're doing. You keep doing you too, my friend, okay? I'm looking. A lot of other people out there, especially budding astrologers, they don't know I'm looking at the stuff, but I do when I get a chance. Mackenzie, don't stop, okay? So saying that, let's do this my way. Let's do it the Nicholas way. The Sparkles way. Good to see you, Charlie. We're going to talk, okay? Good to see you. Oh, yeah, soon. I'm looking at my schedule. I will see you flying high, as you do, Charlie, and the whole crew. I saw you announce the event. Maybe on my next stream, I can help promo this for some of the Seattle peeps. Okay, so saying that, let's do this. Let's go out. Let's go out the way we came in, through the portal. As we do this thing here on the eclipse here that's happening right now as we speak, now we need the slow fade, don't we? Now we need it. Now we... Thank you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for trusting me with your world and your presence and your time in your existence. Thank you for supporting my channel and subscribing, for the Patreon, for the channel memberships, for the private messages. Thanks for trusting me the last 2-3 years that you discovered me on YouTube, that you've had a one-on-one session with me and you trusted me with your world. And for me, all this stuff comes back to the one-on-one session and clients and everything I do, whether it's in person or online or with the stranger down the street, whether they know I'm an astrologer or not. And it flows and the messages come through me. You have guided me. You have shown me where to go. You have shown me how to help you. And I really mean that. I know my existence for right now. And it's that. So I love you all. Thank you for everything, okay? Let's go out in the compassionate, loving way. Let's go out with the intention of knowing why we are here. There's the bigger picture and the questions, but there's no question when it comes to connection, compassion, and love. And that's how we're going to end this live stream, okay? I know you're with me, so let's do it. We are everything, and nothing. We are reality and fantasy. We are on the edge. Balancing, surfing, loving. We sparkle